Yeah, Steve, someone in the audience has heard of a 9.1% tax reduction. A, is that true? And if that is true, how will that be accomplished?
Well, I think more than one person has heard of a 9.1% tax reduction if you watch my budget presentation today, which a majority of the people in this room did. 9.1% is absolutely true. It just follows along with the 8% or so that I did last year, the 10% that I did before that. Since I took office, this is now my 8th budget. We've cut taxes every single year. When I took office, the county property tax rate that you all paid was $5.82 per thousand. That was outrageous. We set about to fix it, and we have. You are now, once this budget is passed with the help of our legislators, you will be paying $3.23 per thousand. That is a 49% reduction in the property tax rate. It's undebatable. It's undeniable. It's a fact. I know some people don't like facts, but that is an absolute fact that we have cut the property tax rate. I cannot do anything about your school taxes, which spiral out of control, or your fire, or your library, or anything else. What I can control is the county property tax rate, and that's what we've done. On top of that, our sales taxes jumped from 89 million when I took office for the year. It is now routinely over $125 million. That, folks, is what has allowed us to cut your property tax rate. Without that sales tax, and thank you all for spending your money here in the county, that allows us to grow that pot of money, because it's coming from two places: property or sales. Much better that comes from sales tax. It means you're enjoying your life. Businesses are doing business. That allows us to cut those taxes, pave those roads, build 4 brand new senior centers, reopen the Knickerbocker ice rink, build an emergency services training center, do all the things that my administration has accomplished. So the 9.1 is very real. As soon as the legislators agree to pass the budget, which we've passed many unanimous budgets in Rensselaer County. In fact, the 7 previous budgets that I've done, I think, have a total of 3 or 4 no votes. That's it. So it's real.
Get my mic on. There's been discussion of a 9.1% tax reduction. How will that be accomplished? And Steve gave his thoughts as to how that would be accomplished. I didn't know if he wanted to respond in any way. Maybe you don't.
So I have not had the opportunity to look over the budget. To me, the math isn't mathing. And so in terms of having 9.1% in tax cuts, I agree with everyone in this room and everyone that I've spoken to and every door that I've knocked on. The taxes are going up. And he can sit there and he can shrug and he can say whatever he wants to say, and he can make cute little jokes about, me being with the lieutenant governor, the current sitting lieutenant governor, and that's fine. But sir, in all due respect, I wouldn't even be standing here right now if I didn't see you with Dan McCoy having dinner on December 30th.
What's that got to do with anything? I'll be happy to rebut that.
Because you don't want the job. You do not want the job. How many jobs have you already applied for?
Wow. Send it on down. Are you even employed? Send it on down. Well, this is going to be so much fun. The math isn't mathing. She just said she hasn't looked at the budget. She just said she has not looked at our budget. How big is our budget, Ms. Silverman? How big, Mrs. Silverman, is the county budget? You said you're a fiscal expert. How big's the budget? Blank. No answer. Not a surprise. You're not a fiscal expert. As far as the math isn't mathing and taxes are going up, I just explained school and fire and library and all of the other assorted taxes. But you can't seem to do simple math and find out the fact that our tax rate has undeniably gone down from $5.28 to now it's going to be $3.23. That maths. As far as my friend Dan McCoy, what in the hell does it have to do with anything that I had dinner with a friend of mine on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve? What does that matter? I thought we were talking about civility. I thought we were supposed to reach across the aisle. Dan and I work together all the time. As a matter of fact, all the time. And as you say, I'm running scared, by the way. I was on vacation with Dan last week in Ireland. That's how afraid I am of you. Now, second of all, why can I not? I'd love to answer that one. I can't have dinner with a friend of mine? Really? That's
Okay,
outrageous.
thank
How
you.
dare you?
And Tiffany, do you want 30 seconds to respond, or are you set?
So I'm going to be the bigger person, and I'm going to let you move on to the next question.